Episode 427. Du Ming gritted his teeth and erupted with power, but Tang Ru refused to back down. The sheer intensity of their clash left the live audience and the pro players watching in stunned disbelief. It's no surprise that a regular player would have a stronger desire to win when facing a pro. But how can this player still maintain such fierce fighting spirit after already having won once? Is she really just an ordinary player? By this point, the pro players seemed to realize they'd all been wrong. This player's skill level was indeed inferior to theirs, but he didn't hold these pro players in particularly high regard either. Unlike most ordinary players, this one didn't see the pro players as some untouchable godlike figures. She was genuinely, seriously trying to defeat them. This wasn't just for fun, it was a real match.
This beauty is a total psycho.
Someone had finally had enough and voiced a rather blunt comment. Many more didn't say it out loud, but they were thinking the same thing, and they were far from few.
Disdainful. Seeing a guy like that suddenly makes me really want to get up there and fight.
Many of the more battle-hungry players were already voicing their opinions. The match itself wasn't drawing much attention anymore. Based on their experience, they could quickly call the outcome, and that's exactly how it played out. In the end, Du Ming's Blade Master finally managed to take down Tang Ru's Battle Mage.
I'm exhausted, but man, that felt amazing.
Du Ming felt this fight was truly exhilarating. As he stepped down from the stage, a faint smile played on his lips. By the time they reached the center of the stage, the host was already at a loss for words. This time, it was Tang Ru who spoke up first.
Can I challenge you to another match?
Du Ming was taken aback. The host was taken aback, and the entire audience was taken aback. Naturally, the host was the first to recover.
Miss, that's not really proper, is it?
What rules?
The host was taken aback once more. Yeah, what's the rule? According to the rules, once a selected audience member finishes a match, it's time to bring up a new one. But that rule was already broken, and Du Ming broke it first. He dragged that audience member back for another match just to save face. How can a rule that's already been broken ever be mended? You can't very well say that pro players get special privileges. The host was left speechless. Tang Ru ignored him and turned to Du Ming. Du Ming had no choice but to agree. He couldn't refuse, and he had no grounds to refuse. If he had won right from the start, like he just did, he could have refused a rematch. The problem was, he'd already lost once, and lost badly. Now that his opponent was challenging him again, he couldn't refuse. He was afraid that a refusal would be misinterpreted as fear because his last victory hadn't been effortless either. He had to admit that if this newbie girl with her high APM kept up that chaotic all-out assault and he didn't take it seriously, he really would repeat the disaster of the first match. Amidst the general confusion, the two of them truly began the third match.
It's chaos. Complete chaos.
The host was rattling on, and the broadcast team was in a panic too. But there was nothing they could do. They couldn't just drag a player off the stage in front of all these spectators. In the blink of an eye, the third match was underway. Right from the start, Tang Ru was blasting her APM again, sticking to her pure newbie-style tactics.
Holy crap, she's still going this hard?
While the anxious hosts and broadcasters were fretting, the pro players were having a blast, thoroughly enjoying the show.
Is she planning to wear Du Ming down through sheer attrition?
That's brutal.
But the organizers wouldn't allow that, would they?
Is this never going to end? What is this? A two-man comedy act?
Little Joe, what's your plan here?
Some people even went to ask the folks from Samsara. By now, they were no longer just quietly discussing Tang Ru's strength within their own teams. The lively atmosphere had practically made them all one big happy family, and they were having a blast. Of course, the cheerful atmosphere didn't include Team Samsara. Du Ming was one of theirs, and his humiliation was a black mark on the entire team. The other team's players came over to ask, leaving the Samsara members speechless. After a moment of thought, Zhou Zikai, who had been singled out, said,
I don't know.
Best not to stop her. Let's see just what this beauty has in mind.
I don't know.
Zhou Zikai just repeated the same line, leaving the other person with no choice but to walk away in exasperated silence. No one cared about the match itself anymore, or even the result. All they wanted to know was whether there would be a fourth, or even a fifth round after this one. Were they really going to keep going until one of them collapsed on stage? While the pro players were looking around and seeing nothing, a staff member from the venue actually approached Yi Shu and Chen Guo.
Excuse me, miss. That Miss Tang on the field is a friend of yours, right?
The staff are being quite polite.
Yeah.
Chen Guo gave an absent-minded reply. She was far more concerned with the outcome of the match, watching so intently that she didn't even notice someone had slipped into the seat beside her, the one Tang Ru had vacated.
Hey, could you do me a favor and have her come down after this match?
Shen Guo finally noticed something was off beside her. She turned to look, and it was actually the host from the stage who had run over.
Look, we have to give the other audience members a chance to challenge too. She's already fought 3 matches in a row.
The host made a reasonable argument, clearly thinking ahead, worried that Tang Ru would demand a 4th match after this one ended.
If they want to fight, just let them fight.
Chen Gu was really enjoying the show, not wanting to go up and drag Tang Ru down at all.
But our event still has to go on. Oh, come on, please.
Isn't this an activity right now?
These one-on-one matches usually only last a few minutes. For the host to personally run off stage to talk to Chen Guo was clearly a major blunder. He'd only been chatting with Chen Guo for a few moments, but the match on stage was already over, and Tang Ru had won again. The two were still trading blows at a blistering APM, but this time, Tang Ru's performance was exceptional. Her control was freakishly accurate. Having just won a match, Du Ming had let his guard down again. He hadn't expected Tang Ru's luck to be running so hot this round. Even her wild, unaimed attacks had suddenly jumped a whole tier in accuracy. He couldn't block them in time, and to the crowd's roaring astonishment, he lost once more. The host was still downstage, arguing with Chen Guo, when Ye Shu's reminder made him turn around. He nearly coughed up blood on the spot. This time, it wasn't that Tang Ru refused to come down. Du Ming had decisively issued another challenge, and Tang Ru was only too happy to accept. Without waiting for the host, the two of them just started another match.